In ancient times, we used to learn by hearing stories and passing them on. But as soon as we learned to write, we evolved as a species, spreading our knowledge everywhere. But in our modern chaotic lifestyle, it's sometimes hard to read books. Even though we have this blessing called audiobooks, we are not sure how to get the most out of them. We either get distracted or feel sleepy or do not enjoy the process at all, and in the end, we can't really retain anything. So, I have divided this video in two parts, listen and retain, and I'll share my 6-step process, which is sleep, speed, leisure, language, bookmark and write, which will help you become better audiobook reader. Well, listener. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Impulse Books. Myself Mithu Roy, I'm a software engineer from India and I love to extract valuable stuff from books, movies, etc. and also love to share them with you guys. During this first wave of COVID-19, I have started my reading journey and I was reading only physical books back then. But one day I installed Audible on my phone because I heard a lot of great things about it. So I downloaded my first audiobook, got to my bed and started listening. Well, I enjoyed it for 5 to 10 minutes. After 30 minutes, I wasn't really sure what happened in the middle of the book. I was like, I have no clue what I listened to. This happened so many times, so I quit. But at that time, I was reading so many self-help books and that's why I was super motivated to tackle anything. And I took listening to audiobooks effectively as a challenge. But this time I did my research and started implementing them. So let's tackle the first part, that is listen. Also, that brings us to our first point, sleep. I observed that whenever I have started listening to audiobooks, for the first 5 to 10 minutes I used to listen, but after that I used to forget that I was listening to something. That's when I use this feature called sleep timer in Audible. I'm sure it's present in every audiobook app. I used to set a sleep timer for 10 minutes and when it got over, I used to take a break. Then I used to come back whenever I felt like it. Because I believe that if we are doing something, we should do it effectively instead of just forcing the activity. So try taking small breaks in between your audiobook listening. I'm sure it will definitely improve the experience of your reading. That was all good, but I want to become a productive listener as well. So I thought, why not listen more in less time? And that brings us to our second point, which is speed. In my audiobook app, I speed up my audiobook to 1.5x. Generally, I watch YouTube videos at 1.5 to 2x speed, so it was not really difficult for me to cope up. And guess what? I was retaining more information and I was interested to listen to more. So when I dig deeper, I found out that our brain is like a machine, constantly searching for information and various thoughts around. So when we decide to listen to an audiobook and we don't give our brain the information at the pace it wants, our brain gets bored and switches to some other thoughts. So if you want to take at least one learning from this video, it is this one. Try playing with the speed. I'm sure you will be amazed. And if you like the video so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And the third step is my favorite. It is leisure. Initially, I started listening to audiobooks while doing the dishes or making coffee or sometimes while scrolling through my Instagram comments. And at that time, I generally used to go to the rooftop to get some sunshine and obviously without my phone. But later, I decided to turn my Wi-Fi off and take my phone along to listen to audiobooks. While I was listening to the Ramchandra series by Amish Tripathi, I went to a different space. I used to get goosebumps in certain situations. I used to feel emotional and sometimes I used to get tears on my eyes. I was like, wow. Then I used to go to the rooftop every day, working and listening to audiobooks. So try combining your audiobook listening with your leisure time, which is not really distracting. And if you already have any other sorts of leisure time, do let me know what it is in the comment below. So I used to listen to all the audiobooks in English. But recently I have watched Ankur Wariku's video where he talked about his process of listening to audiobooks. He said that we should read audiobooks in our native language or a language which we use to communicate a lot. This brings us to our fourth point, language. For me, that language is Bengali, but as there are not many books translated in Bengali, so I go with Hindi because that's what I speak more after Bengali. Recently, I have started listening to Sapiens in Hindi and I must say this works like a charm. I have provided the link to Ankur Wariku's video in the description of this video in case you want to check out. If you're someone who does not only read books but love to learn and retain stuff from them as well, I'm sure you will love this part of the video, which is retain. And that brings us to our fifth point, bookmark. So in the Audible or Storytel, there is a way to bookmark a particular timing. So every time I used to like something, I generally rewind to 30 seconds and bookmark them. And I used to bookmark as much as I can This may not be possible if you're doing this while doing some other activity, but if you just want to enjoy the book and nothing else, this is not really necessary. But if you want to keep the information for later processing, do bookmark as much as you can. And if you're wondering why I used to rewind 30 seconds, well, this is because of our sixth and the last point, which is the most important step. Right. Because I go through my bookmarks either every day or every week, depending on the kind of book I'm listening to. Usually I do this every week, set aside a particular time on my calendar on Saturdays or Sundays. Because of the 30-second rewind, I generally get a context of why I liked a particular line or quote, which improves my note-taking process a lot. So go through your bookmarks, listen to them, and start writing what you feel about that in your own words. See, if you purchase a book to improve yourself and could not even retain what you have listened to, then you are just wasting your time and money. So nowadays I focus more on taking notes rather than listening to more books. I generally use Notion for my notes because I love to convert them as content to publish on all my social handles. But you can go old school and use pen and paper as well. I see many people complaining that they read a book but they don't see any significant changes in their lives. Well, for that you need to spend an ample amount of time with that book or books. So I urge you, if you want books to help you, do not skip this step. And if you like this video, I'm sure you will also love to watch the video where I shared my 7 life-changing books. Till then, take care and keep reading. Oh, hit the subscribe button as well. Bye-bye.